Y'all, UFOs have seemingly flown out of the spotlight. Even after all of the hullabaloo from the last 2 months of last year, with the New Jersey drones and UFOs and UAPs, it seems that at the beginning of the new year, less and less people are talking about them. Now, that does not mean that less are being seen, but there is a lot less mainstream media coverage about it. So let's take a look ourselves by diving into the biggest UFO subreddit and see what's popping this week. At the top this week, we have Trump claiming that he's going to give us a report about the New Jersey drone incident about a day into his presidency. Wait, let's check this out.
A story that kind of disappeared
Thank
very
you.
suddenly.
Thank
Do you have
you.
any idea whatever happened to the drones?
What happened to drones?
Well, you had said that you knew that you thought the government knew what was happening with these drones over New Jersey.
Stop, because I don't know. I don't know if Trump is playing stupid or if he genuinely thought the dude was just asking in general about drones. But the way that Trump said, "We don't know about drones," and then he like looked down, like, "What?" This man's a mess. Look.
Happened to drones?
Well, you had said that you knew that you thought
Uh,
the government knew what was happening with these drones over New
And it
Jersey that were
clicked. I
sent by
think it right there.
I
It
don't know. They're
clicked.
over Bedminster a lot, so I can imagine. I'm going to give you a report on drones about one day into the administration because I think it's ridiculous that they're not telling you about what's going on with the drones. And it's not only with me. Glenn was telling me today that in Virginia they have drones all over the place too, and
This is
nobody's
true.
reporting it. I don't know why they're not. Do you want to say something about that?
Thank you. And oh my God, I'm so glad he even said that because it is true. I've been seeing a few people posting or sending me stuff, but no one's reporting on this. And not that I, not that I believe that Trump will do it right away or at all. I mean, he might. I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. But I love that he addressed it, talked about it at all, mentioned another state and how it's underreported in that state. Whether he brings something to the table as far as a drone report or not, I think it's great that he spoke about it because now more eyes and ears are going to be on it, on something that people have seemingly either forgotten about or are choosing to ignore, as the reporter himself said in the beginning of that statement. So yeah, I think that's good. I don't know if that he's gonna do it, but I like it. Next, there's this post from Mandrew338. Funny name. I'm a flight nurse, and our Medevac helicopter crew witnessed something odd. All right, let's check this out. I don't know that I would be. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. Sorry, that is odd. What? What is that? What is that? What are they doing? What is that? Oh my God, what was that little dance they did? And this one brightened up like a lot. Look at this mama jamma right here. Wait, am I tripping? Is that what is that? What is that? Am I tripping? Was that normal? Was that do you see that? What is that? Maybe I'm not. I mean, I don't fly, but what the hell? I guess that light has that weird flare to it, so maybe that's not too abnormal. But I mean, I saw the two dancing that caught my eye. What is this? And those definitely have tails. How does that one have a tail as if it's moving forward, but whatever it is seems to be actually moving backward? That doesn't make sense. Ah, was that lightning? There's so much happening in this video. I don't know what's going on. That's weird. That's freaking weird. Oh, those things. What is? Look, that one looks like it's regressing, moving backwards as well. Bro, where are you flying? Maybe we'll get more details in the comments. Where are you flying around? This looks crazy. I wonder if he radioed down to air traffic control and if they had anything to say about what the flip is going on here. Hold on. What? Oh. Wait. Let's click in here. See if we can get a statement from them. and I will. There's a statement. Hold on while I get my glasses, dearie. When you're older, it's a little bit harder to see. Um, okay, sorry, y'all. I had to. Time, 4:05, 405 hours, and so like 4 a.m. on the 1st of June, 2025, New Year's Day. Location in the desert between Yuma, Arizona, and Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix Lights. See flight radar screenshot. Was was that added? Okay. The duration of the sighting was actually 45 minutes. And we're not going to blame this person or be angry at them for not recording the whole time, as they were flying, and I would rather they land safely than record this thing. Filming equipment, iPhone 14 Pro, filming through a J31 binocular white phosphorus Gen 2 plus night vision. Damn, boy, you got the setup and you got a plane. All right. At approximately 4:05 hours on the 1st of January, my pilot spotted two air. My pilot. Bitch, how rich are you? Who is this? Okay, no, okay, whatever. Um, my pilot spotted two aircrafts moving from south to north. We were heading in a northeast direction from the city of Yuma towards downtown Phoenix. Again, to this photo that I can't find. The two aircraft, one of which appeared to be in similar altitude as us, we were flying at 2,000 feet. My pilot noted that neither aircraft were tracked on ADS-B in this is basically a passive radar. It feeds information into our helicopter in real time about other aircraft in the area. Oh, that's, yeah, like safety protocol. Side note, it does not always give us information on all aircraft, such as some military aircraft, crop dusters, ugh, and paramotorists. Paramotorists. What? Oh, okay, people just do anything. All right. Sorry. These aircrafts did not have signaling lights, green, red, or white, that I'm sure most people are already familiar with. This was odd, since the direction of the craft would usually be able to see those under NODs, night optic devices, aka night vision goggles. Now, when an aircraft approaches you head on, it's hard to see if they're having or if they have landing lights on. But since our helicopter was from their oh, I can't read today. Since our helicopter was there, I think it's was there from from there. Was there from 8 to 9 o'clock. We should see them, but we did not. Oh my God. Oh my Jesus. Okay. Sorry. We have seen flares in this area before, however, both visible and IR. On our way to Phoenix, we have YPG. My God, stop with the acronyms. Just spell it out since you're going to do it anyway. The Yuma Proving Grounds. The military runs this area and tests new equipment. It is a restricted airspace for us civilians. I've been told that there is restricted airspace to our south as well, so we didn't think much of it at the time. It was odd that both targets could not or could only be seen through the night vision devices, since we're going back into the damn acronyms. But as I've mentioned, I have seen IR flares in this area before. While we were talking about the above, and one object gained altitude and disappeared. Oh, as the other lost altitude and moved away from us and also disappeared. Okay. Odd. We all agreed. Me too. Um, that's that's when the objects began appearing and I started filming. What? So you weren't okay, so I guess the one object I guess they saw two objects prior, and the one went up and off into space, because yay. And the other one dipped out. And then he started recording, and then that's when we saw all of that. Okay. Um, all right, I don't know. I feel like this, okay, crew background. Where I mean, I think we understand what these are. So pilot, paramedic, and myself. Oh, she's the nurse. Right. But you have your own pilot? No, there's more to that story that isn't important. Because this is about UFOs. It should be noted that before I continue, that we have seen a lot of things under NODs at night. Aircraft, helicopters, crop dusters. There's a lot of agriculture in Yuma, Arizona. Satellites, meteors, lightning, trains, flares, military jets and helicopters, SpaceX launches, Starlink launches, military live fire exercises, etc. We've seen a lot, but nothing like this. Not ominous at all. Another side note, it can be difficult to distinguish depth under NODs without experience. One way, especially with other aircraft, is by the size of the halo around the object. Usually, the brighter the object is, the closer it is. The bigger the halo around it, the bigger the halo around the object it will have because it's closer to the lens, so it's projecting more of that light. That makes a lot of sense. I cannot stress this enough. In the following videos, there are stars, there are satellites, and then there are these things. After reviewing the footage, I noted that a lot of information about depth and overall quality, when compared to looking through binoculars and ODs, is lost. I don't want anyone to have to take my word for it, but these objects were in front of low-hanging altitude clouds, in front of terrain at times, and were not satellites, although some are present in the background. At times, they would even illuminate clouds when they entered them. Oh, then they definitely weren't satellites. That's actually very interesting. Oh, and I think this is where we can get the attached. Yeah, attached to the flight radar screenshot I took throughout the duration of the sightings, and the full video should be linked. If anyone wants to watch over 20 minutes of what I filmed, I've seen some comments in the sub before, people cut things off too short. Hey, we just said that. So I decided to film for a while. I appreciate you. And I guess you weren't the pilot, so my comments earlier, disregard that. Also, it should be noted that there is a large nuclear facility north of where we saw these things. But if it's nothing, I'm more than welcome to rational explanations. Thanks for reading this post. Then it goes on. And then he has the full video linked. So what I'm going to do is, so that you guys, one, he deserves the credit for his sighting, and probably some traffic. Who knows if his stuff is monetized, right? Get him a little something. So I'm gonna have the full video linked in the description below, so you guys can go. Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. Definitely, definitely. What's his channel? Mandrew33. He changed nothing. Okay. Well, we're going to. Oh, he really did. I appreciate Mandrew. Okay, and then so we'll give you a like because I kind of already know what we're seeing in here. I'll give you a subscribe because we're gonna check it out. I want you to go smash like on his video, subscribe to his channel, and I'm gonna post that so that you guys can check out what he saw, the full video of what he recorded. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to have the flight radar information linked as well. I have both of them linked. I'm not going to close the tab, so I'll just link them right in the description so you guys can check that out and do some research too. Next, there's this strange unseen footage from a military, I guess, a training exercise that they were doing, and they were jumping out of planes and they were like recording the exercise, and you actually see a UAP in the footage. I can't provide to you the information on this user because, like they often do, the entire account is deleted. I do try to give information on who sends me these videos, but sometimes they are anonymous or this happens. So when you guys leave those comments, like, why aren't you linking them or giving them a shout out? I can't. I don't know who posted this. But they said, okay, Reddit, this is the first time anybody other than myself and a few other Marines that I know of have seen this footage. Before I elaborate on this clip, how I found it, my connection to it, etc. Okay, I would like to share some personal background and history with this subject. I am in my late 20s and I'm a Marine. Cool. Thanks for your service. That's about all I want to offer about by myself due to the fear character. I mean, yeah, I get it, but like you're saying, he was saying it like he's gonna go into this whole backstory. He's like, okay, that's it. That's all I want to say. I'm done. Oh, he's not done. So homie is just diving head first. I mean, obviously there is a training exercise, but look at that. Look at that mother flower. Look at that. What is that? That looks tic-tac in shape. Whoop. Mind you, they're like high up, dropping people off this damn plane. This thing's just zipping by. Not a plane. and that cannot be a drone that's very up high up and very very fast. I like there's one of the comments in the subreddit and they're like, ha, could you imagine you're like an alien and you're driving whatever it is that's driving this UAP, you're cruising along thousands of feet in the air, and then you look out your passenger window and you see humans falling through the sky looking at you. There's this guy put, goddamn humans jumping out of a perfectly good aircraft. That's actually really, really funny. But apparently, it's not just the clip that makes this post so compelling. The whole thing is the story behind it. So what is so compelling? Let's see what's going on here by this deleted user who it seems like they gave so much information that some probably could find out who they are, but whatever. So we read this portion earlier. In my late 20s, Marines. He didn't um, want to offer up this information due to fear of career assassination. Here's the story. When I was about 9 or 10 years old, my grandfather, then in his late 70s and in poor health, was sitting alone home watching the History Channel with me. A show about the Betty and Barney Hill abduction incident came on. We all know that story. And a few minutes into it, he lowered the volume and stared at the floor, then told me a story that really shook me. He told me that decades before, he and his friend, we will call Jay, we're driving home one night from a day in Houston. Sorry, I'm like slowing down. I'm just like, do we really have to call Grandpa's friend Jay? Grandpa who was in his late 70s when you were 10. And I'm so sorry, and I hope that he is around, but may not be around now. And so neither would Jay. And like, who's gonna know? Okay, whatever. We'll call him Jay from Houston. As they were driving, a blinding light encompassed their vehicle fully, and the radio went haywire. They thought a helicopter was spotlighting them, but could not hear the propeller. My grandfather stuck his head out the window to look up and describe an object directly above them with a sort of flame coming out of the bottom. They were scared shitless and attempted to speed away to no avail. After a few minutes, the object disappeared, and they continued home, panicking. One of the two, I'm not sure which, suggested calling the police or local newspaper, but they quickly agreed that they should not say anything, as both were well established in their local community, and my grandfather was an ordained minister with 5 children and the wife to lose. Overseeing a UFO, I I know there's a stigma to it, but I feel like that's a lot. Right? Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. I feel like that's a lot. I and I also feel that it's strange that he doesn't know which one, like his grandfather omitted that part from the story. Oh, which one of you decided to you wanted to call in and did it? The omission. No, don't worry about it. All right, he never again told me that story. And I'm not sure I believed him, as he loved to tease me by telling me odd stories and seeing what I would believe. Years later, where my grandfather was on death's doorstep, I'm so sorry that he passed away, but I think that tells us kind of what I said earlier. I seemed quite upset. I asked if he. Oh, sorry. Oh, I skipped the whole sentence here. I'm sorry, guys. Uh, I had an opportunity to speak with Jay and asked him about the story. Years later, on my grandfather. Oh, I guess Jay must have been over seeing his friend. He confirmed it and seemed quite upset. I asked if he ever thought about telling somebody, and this 80-something-year-old man yelled, "Hell no!" at me. I never again pressed the matter. They are now both deceased. The reason I felt compelled to ask Jay all those years later was because I had an experience of my own. I do not wish to elaborate on that experience. Okay. Okay. I do not wish to elaborate on that experience because I anonymously spoke about it on a well-known podcast, and the extra information in that episode could blow up my cover. If after my experience at age 16, I had an existential crisis and became obsessive and quite honestly bothered. I stumbled upon the Cash Landrum incident. I don't know what that is, but if it has to do with UFOs, we'll check that out. Oh, we'll check that out soon. I think that's what it's called. And I learned that it not only took place in the same area and time frame as my grandfather's story, but also somewhat matched the description of the object. Since that revelation, I study UAP for maybe an hour or two a week. I keep up with things, but I'm no scholar, as I found it could totally consume me if I let it. That is also very true, guys. Like, this stuff is cool, but if you are like completely consumed by it, like, go touch grass. It's okay. Like, yes, I'm sure there's aliens, and I love UFOs and stuff, but like, they'll still be here in the morning. Go outside. So, okay, after this whole story in which he tried not to expose himself and then didn't tell us about his experience, uh there is a how did I get this footage? We're getting to the juicy part. So, how did I get the posted footage? Due to my status in the Marine Corps, I am able to work civilian jobs. I was offered a security gig at a well-known music festival and was paired up with a Marine who I instantly hit it off with. We will call him T. He Why not A and B? Okay, he and I shared similar interests. Naturally, our hour-long conversations turned into geopolitics, which then turned into the subject of UAP disclosure. I relate to him my grandfather's story, my findings, and then my personal experience. Okay, the one you don't want to tell us, whatever. Mr. Marine is so special, you get to tell him. I told him the whole story without skipping a beat. How I wish I was that Marine. When I finished, he looked at me in the eye and said, "You're fucking with me, right?" I presented him the goosebumps on my arms as an answer and assured him that I was serious. His jaw dropped and his eyes got big. He started for a moment and said, "I need to show you something." That something was this footage. And now, before we go forward, and I'm sorry, I'm like critiquing the story so much. I don't know what's up with me today, right? But he's like, "Yeah, bro, are you serious?" He's like, so I pulled out my arm and showed him my goosebumps, and in that moment, he was like, "Holy fuck!" Like, like our goosebumps that like our do you automatically when you get goosebumps your story is true. Like, what if it was just chilly? Like, not that he's lying. It's just that the goosebumps being what sold the other Marine on this is that's just so funny to me. Okay, content of said footage. T was conducting a high altitude jump over an eastern US state. When he jumped, he noticed a white orb, okay, orb, not tic tac, zipping by below him. He was instantly thrown into a state of panic, believing that he had dropped his reserve. Oh, or that the plane had lost a part. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Actually, I would shit my pants. He realized that he still had his reserve, and it made no sense to have lost it because it would have been falling with him, not zipping by in a horizontal plane below him. He was thoroughly spooked and had no idea what had buzzed by him. After he made a safe landing, the next man to jump ran to him and asked if he had seen that white thing flying below him. He assured him that he had, in fact, seen it and was well spooked. I would have honestly, after saying it like that, like a piece of the plane or a piece of your equipment, like that's the first thing that would run through your. I would be scared. I would be scared. That man then told him that he had been recording with his GoPro and that they needed to watch the footage. T and his buddy never got an answer. There should not have been any aircraft nearby while they were conducting a high altitude jump. Nothing fell from their plane, and there were no weather balloons up there, and certainly no birds due to the altitude. I'm told that the plane was traveling at a high automobile speed. Like, if you and I realized that this interstate was clear and there were no cops nearby and that type of speed, for the sake of reference and further analysis. T gave me this footage and told me to do what I wanted with it, within reason. I have attempted to contact several trusted people in the media. None reply. I would like answers. That's it. I'm never 100% sold on anything being aliens, but honestly, what the F is this? Hopefully, this conversation gets more steam behind it. I know what I saw. I believe my grandfather. I believe T. People are seeing that people are seeing things that are utterly unexplainable, and our government pisses on us when we ask for answers. I'm willing to answer questions within reason. I won't do anything to give myself away or give tea away. I am open to speaking with credentialed researchers and journalists, but we will have to set terms to protect identities before doing so. This account will remain active for the next week or so, and I will probably delete it. If you care about this info, screenshot it and download the footage. God bless. I hope you guys can figure out what we're seeing in the sky. Video. I'm assuming he thought the video would pop up there, but that's not how it worked on Reddit, buddy. 7 days, a week to the T, a week to the T, a week to the T. And he deleted his account. So there's that. I something was in that video. That was a military training. You can see their uniforms. This is GoPro footage. We see the GH up here. I have a GoPro. It's usually the little thing beforehand. The story was a lot, but I believe it. I mean, there were some things you guys heard my critiques, but I believe it, and I think that's a very strange sighting. And I do believe that they deleted their account because this could be tracked back to them. You'd be surprised how much power the government has over the internet. So I can see why he deleted this, and honestly, his fear and then deletion adds a little more credence to me. So I think it's an interesting sighting. What are your thoughts? Next, we have an interesting orb UFO from Bratislava, Slovakia. These people were celebrating their new year, I believe, looking out the window, and then they saw this bright UFO and started recording, and rightfully freaking out. Take a look.
Pozri.
Look at that, look how it's pulsing.
Tak predsa len prišli mimozemšťania na SMPčku.
Nie, slnko zväčšilo sa o...
Pozrite sa na to. O polnoci.
Nie,
Oh.
slnko len zväčšilo sa o...
Did it just do a poop?
Nie, slnko len zväčšilo
Excuse
sa
me?
To je meteorit!
Ah! That kid was freaking out. He said it's a meteorite. That's actually a really cool video. I believe there was a debunk to it, and someone said it was a flare. That video might come up soon, but there is a debate because then people said that the place where that flare was fired from wasn't angled that way. There's always going to be back and forth with these debunks and debates. So I'm gonna leave that one up to you once we find that. This is likely a flare. Oh, see this post. Here it is. Here it is. See, this is what they think it is. Oh, let's see. It might look the same. I didn't see the video. I had just read that it was probably a flare. Marine distress flare test by a Red Rocket MK3. 10 years ago. Oh, okay. They're not saying that this is that flare. They're saying that that was very likely a flare because look at this flare, and it looks very similar. And honestly, it genuinely does. I'm not seeing that weird pulsating, like it's happening, but not as intense as the one that we just saw. And we have to see if it drops a Shadoobie, because if it does that little weird poop, whatever those UFOs drop. Oh yeah, no, it did a little something there. Oh yeah, okay. I can actually see that. I can see that. Cool sighting? Possibly debunked. Still interesting to think about because again, that other video is years old and it's not the same object. They're just saying it has a very similar look to it, so it is likely a flare. Could it be something else? Yeah, of course, we're not up in the sky, checking it with a microscope, but it is likely a flare. However, this next one from Sponge Brew is definitely not a flare. Take a look. I was gonna say. Did it stop? Yeah, let's see what they say. A large, very bright orb flying quickly across the sky. I'm currently trying to get more answers to it or on it from the one who recorded it. Oh, they didn't even record it. They messaged me back the time and location when I asked when and where it was filmed. Still waiting to see if they'll send me the origin and let me know if there's any direct noise associated with it. The time this happened January 7th of 2025 around 7 p.m. in China Standard Time, so in Hubei, China. Interesting. We've seen some very interesting UFOs from China. China and South America get all the crazy looking UAPs. I agree, but if you go on Twitter, everyone says here, why is it only happening in USA? I feel like that's just an ignorant standpoint. Like some people don't actually look into UFOs or do any research or whatever. And so since the American news is covering it and they're from America, it's like, it's only in America. It's like, yeah, but when the American news covers, UFOs, they're not going to cover the ones in China or in Japan because that's not, we don't live over there. It's- yeah, come on, guys. And then we have this bad boy from Itzy. You said, my friend saw this yesterday. What might it be? That was 5 days ago. So we can assume 6 days ago. So January 6th of 2025. It is a strange rod-looking UFO. Some people have likened it to Starlink. But as you know, Starlink is usually a train, not a single rod. That looks to be like one object fully connected. And it definitely does look anomalous. Usually, especially when we zoom in on the Starlink, you're going to start seeing the little satellites kind of separated. Sometimes from afar, they can look like a tube, but then there'll be like one that's like farther out because there's always one little bitch trailing at the end. And then I don't know why. I don't know why it's designed like that. But yeah, that just looked like a rod. That looks crazy to me. That almost looks like a straightened out version of the Delta formation, like the cursor arrow that was over that house that other YouTuber had posted before. And then, of course, this picture is always making the rounds. The photo that was buried, and I don't think that it was buried. Let's see. I don't think we realized how insane this picture is. And no, and it isn't a reflection of the water. This is a photo that was buried for over 20 years, never to see the light of day. Shortly after the two people who were seen in broad daylight Scotland, they were visited at their workplace by men in dark suits and corroborated by their story by their close friend who they worked with them at the time uh, to where to where they have been missing ever since. Okay. I feel like I feel like the fact proves proves like I think it's trying to say proves like it's proving PROVE. I feel like the fact proves no. I feel like the fact proofs like these photos exist. Something's wrong there. I don't think he's supposed to have the S. I feel like the fact that proof like this photo exists. Yeah, sorry, I'm like getting all grammar Nazi, but then when you're trying to read it, it's like impossible. Proof like this photo exists, yet no one pays attention is indirect proof to how well calculated the cover up has been. I get what you're trying to say there, and I like that. The public has been programmed to think a certain way, and when something doesn't fit into the paradigm we are provided by the government, we reject it. Yeah, honey, that's called society. Like that's not a secret. That's like a known. That's how we function. That's a known thing. We put ourselves in a bubble because we feel more comfortable, and then when someone comes to burst that bubble, we ain't having that shit. Now to the claims that this photo was buried, I know it's a popular photo. I know it's one of the things that came out and was confirmed by the Freedom of Information Act, but it only needed to be confirmed because it has been seen before. This picture has been posted multiple times. Newsweek best UFO ever, the Calvine photo, like this here. Look, this was taken August 15th of 2022. And even they say it was found after 30 years missing. But I'm also more than sure that this picture was in a UFO book when I was little. It was a book that because I've always loved UFOs, and I lived in New York, and it was like 1998, I think. I went to the night maybe 97. I remember I went to the library. They had a book about UFOs and ancient mysteries, and it was like the Bermuda Triangle, and they were talking about gray aliens and like like all the stuff that we kind of talk about now. And I could be wrong, but I'm more than sure this picture was in that book. So maybe it's just that, because these things aren't mainstream, the average person isn't looking it up, and the internet only now just became what it is now. So now more people are seeing it, and it's like, I've never seen this before. It must have been hidden for 30 years. And it's just like, well, no, like if you lived in New York and went to that particular library, you would have seen it. And I'm sure there were other cities with other libraries or other bookstores that had that book that also had that picture. We just weren't connected to the internet to be like, guys, look at this, So it was just like I ran to my mom, was like, Mom, and my mom's like, yeah, okay, because I was a kid, and she's just like, yeah, aliens, whatever. She just like now she sees that it's more of a serious situation, but especially back then, she's like, yeah, okay, cool, haha, little kid stuff. Um, so yeah, sorry, tangent there. I don't think, contrary to what young Midoriya 123 or Newsweek have to say, I don't feel that this image has been lost for decades. I don't think that's the case. Oh, look right here. Quick Google um of the Calvine photo, and you find a better uncropped version. Oh, that's what leads to the Newsweek. Where is the uncropped version? Yeah, look, you can see the fencing right here. Um, with permission of the Sheffield Hallam University, meaning they had to get permission from the university. Meaning this picture has actually been at that particular university this whole time, so it wasn't missing. It was confirmed. Like, yeah, this is authentic, but it wasn't missing before. I don't know. But yeah, that's some of what's been happening this week with UFOs. It's been a little bit of a slower week as far as how we were getting so many sightings of the drones and getting so many sightings of the UFOs and UAPs. And it's not that it's not happening. It's not even that it's not happening as often, because it's still happening often. It's just not being reported on as much, and we're probably going to make a video about this soon, but it seems to have, and some of us predicted this before, it seems to have become the new norm. So it's like, yeah, it's happening, but people don't really care anymore. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little different because, as you guys know, I'm changing a lot of stuff on it. I told you guys, life comes at you fast. So I hope you like it. Check out that compilation and those paranormal videos right there.